Jonah, what's up? It's May 21st, Thursday, and today is day 9 of our 1-year vlog challenge, and I want to talk to you about what you think it takes to be a creative leader. Before we jump in, to answer your question, what makes me feel super connected to other people, it's really, really simple. It's actually quite similar to your answer. For me to be able to feel safe and comfortable, to be able to express myself, and to know that I have a safe place where I can talk creatively, I can stumble on my words, that's everything. Like, to me, that is the pinnacle of what it means to be connected to somebody. It's having a safe, creative space to enjoy melding two minds together without having to fear some sort of disconnection, or without like having to walk on eggshells. You just be yourself. Like, to me, words are sculpture, and I want to be able to like put some clay on and take some clay off and play with it and see what other people think, and just, work over time on creating something, that's more complex than just your first attempt. Okay, so I want to jump into my question for today, which is, what do you think it takes to be a creative leader? And there's two ways of thinking about that. Like, a creative leader in terms of not leading like everyone else has in the past, and being a creative leader in terms of a leader in a creative field. Now, for me, I know that I didn't really want to be a business owner. I just felt like no one was going to hire me, so I might as well hire myself. I have a soft spot for people who want to kind of subvert the narrative, people who want to approach things from a different angle. I feel like a lot of us who live our lives that way, who think about things that way, struggle with getting people on board with like understanding why we want to do things. Is it always the best? No. Is it always the most efficient? No, but it is the way that our brains work. And so it's important to just cultivate that. And so as a business owner, I feel like what makes me feel good as a boss is creating an environment for people to be able to think and play and experiment. And that to me is what really makes for a creative leader, because then you're not relying on purely just, what you say goes. And don't get me wrong, I'm actually, as a leader, quite confident, and I often say things like I know exactly what to do. But the truth is, I'm just very actionable. I have to remember that like I say things so strongly that it may actually curb people's ability to even want to present an alternative idea. And so for me, a big source of work as an artist and as a business owner and a team leader is that I have to not be so direct and strong that I squash people's ability to feel like they can express, which, I just said is something that's really important to me. And it's a balancing act for sure, because sometimes in the 11th hour when you've got a deadline, there's no time for creative thinking. It's just get it done, get it out. And, that's a strong suit of mine, but I also have to balance that with my love and desire to play and have creative brainstorming sessions and stuff like that. The other thing that I think is really important about being a leader is that you really have to understand that people are the ultimate thing in the business. You and I have always known that our business exists because of the people who work in it. We get a lot of the credit, and it's hard to get around that. I mean, you and I are the face of a company, and people are always going to associate the work that we produce with you and I. And that's why for you and me, it is such a responsibility to try to uplift the crew and put as much energy into making sure people get seen and heard and feel like that they were represented. Like, that's our job. Like, as leaders, we represent the people who support us. And I think that that's totally lost in a lot of corporate America. It's just like, you serve the corporate elite, and I just don't really like that. I feel like as a business owner, my job is just to facilitate work for the people that are in our company. It's like, I'm not entitled to anything. It's like, if I'm a bad business owner, people won't want to work for us, and that's their right. It's like, it's my job to make a space for people to want to work with us, to want to work for us. And trust me, we've had plenty of failures. And that kind of brings me to my final thought about what it takes to be a creative leader. And that's really embracing failure. Without our embracing of failure, we would never be where we are today. Because when you look at our history, it's easy to look at this channel, it's easy to look at our Instagram or our website or portfolio and be like, wow, they've done all this stuff. And I know that in the grand scheme of things, we're actually quite a small company. We don't have a very big portfolio, and we're not even close to the best artists. But, for someone who's just starting out, they might see something like that as intimidating, like how I'll never be able to do what, these people are doing. And it's just not true. we've just failed forward for years. Every single year we have a success and we have lots of failure. And we just have to like always make sure that, you know, we're always having a little more success every year, a little less failure, learning lessons, not repeating mistakes, but ultimately not letting failure be something that hinders us, but in fact something that we look forward to conquering. You know, it's like, we don't want to just be like, oh, it's cool to fail, no big deal. Like, we do want to always push past it, but you have to embrace it as a part of the process. It's sort of like making something. When we make something in the shop, it takes so much garbage to make one perfect little thing. It's a lot of destruction to make something. And I just think that people forget about that. So that's my question for you, Jonah. What do you think it takes to be a creative leader, and how do you think you can improve and be a better team member? Like I said, for me, I know that sometimes I need to scale back the directness in which I speak to people and be really careful to make sure other people have a space to speak and be heard. And that goes for you guys at home too. Let me know, what do you guys think it takes to be a leader? You know, what do you think is your strength? How are you going to bring that strength to the table as a leader, whether that's in a team or as a business owner? Well, that's it for me, guys. Don't forget to follow, like, and subscribe. Hit the bell notification so you know when we're posting videos. It really, really helps us. And that's it for me. I will see you tomorrow, Jonah.